What's going on, guys? I'm back with another one. And I just watched a movie called Those Who Wish Me Dead, starring Angelina Jolie, John Bernthal, and Finn Little. Ew, what kind of name? First of all, Angelina Jolie, where have you been? It's been quite the while that I've seen you in any kind of film. Seriously. I remember the first time I saw Angelina Jolie. It was in a movie called Gia, an HBO special, matter of fact. And she played a true life model. It was a biopic. And Angelina Jolie did such a splendid job with that. She made it her own and she really stood out. Just the face alone. Not other things. Not yet. I hadn't had a chance to look down yet. But just the face alone was so unique. All right. That I believed that she really was that model. All right. And so from then on, of course, years later, she had the whole Tomb Raider thing going on. Just those two movies. Not anything after that. It doesn't matter. And, of course, in between all that, there was Original Sin, which was a very slept-on movie from her. All right? A lot of people didn't see this, I don't think. If you didn't, you need to see it. Hot. Burning hot movie. All right. And then there's the Angelina movie that was probably my favorite. Probably my favorite movie from her. Wanted. Yes, Wanted. The one that introduced a young Charles Xavier to the world. It also made people believe that bullets could curve around other people and hit from the front. All right? It really made you believe that. But that movie actually was probably the best thing she's done, in my opinion. Fight me on that. Then there was Salt, which was also slept on. Very short, but very effective action movie. Good for the time it had. Right? And so now we have come to Those Who Wish Me Dead after a long wait of anything she's done in a minute. All right. So the question is, will this movie bring her back into the limelight? Or should she have just stayed at the house? Probably let somebody else play in that movie. All right. We're about to see. Let's go. Those Who Wish Me Dead. For those who don't know, for those who are not aware, you really are not aware. You're not. I don't. If you're not, I'm not surprised. Let's just say that, because this just kind of slid out of nowhere. All right, the trailers were so good. That's what pulled me in. And I was just waiting for something new from Angelina Jolie. I really was. And here comes this. All right, so Those Who Wish Me Dead. It's pretty much about an ex-firefighter named Hannah, played by Angelina Jolie, of course, who lost her position when she made a mistake that allowed some people to perish in a fire. All right? And they kind of demoted her to just being like fire watch, or they call fire jumpers. All right? So one day, while she was out on that watchtower looking around, she spots a kid, it's more complicated than that, but she bumps into this kid who just had his father murdered by a bunch of homicidal maniacs, or just two, named the Blackwell brothers. All right. And so from here on, she must protect this kid at all costs, or else those two guys are going to get a hold of this kid and who Lord knows what. All right. And that's the premise of the movie. Positive number one. Hold your seats because this is probably the best thing about this movie. The two villains, played by Aidan Gillen and Nicholas Hoult, aka Littlefinger for my Game of Thrones fans and Beast for my X-Men fans. These two guys were the craziest, most heartless, coldest villains I've seen in quite the while. They gave no F's completely. They blew up. It just blew it up when they came through. And just, that's also literally speaking, they blew things up. They were so intimidating that every time I see these guys pop up, I knew someone was about to die. Let's just be honest. They could not leave a scene without death. All right? Or at least hurting somebody. And they were on a mission. They were emotionless. They knew what they wanted. They were after this kid. He held the last piece to some kind of evidence that was held against them. So they couldn't let this kid walk around too long. All right? And they meant every word they said. They were trying to get down to the bottom of this and get this over with. Okay? Just killing spree. Just a big killing spree for these guys. Let me tell you how cold these guys are. These guys got a hold of a pregnant woman. And I know that I think there's a rule about pregnant women not dying in movies, I think. But I felt like they were going to break that rule. That's how wild these guys were. And they were a very big part of this movie for that. They were a very entertaining part of this movie for that. Okay? It also shook me that a guy that played Beast was just so scary. That dude was scary. I never seen the guy that played Beast play a guy like this. All right? No lie. Another positive for this. Probably the only one left. The kid really did. He was probably one of the best, somewhat best actors in the movie. I hate to say it like that, but yes, because he brought the emotion. I mean, when you lose your father the way he did, just seeing your father die point blank range, you're not going to be the same. And so this he's going to do a lot of crying. He's going to I don't like those movies where they cry real quick and then they just get on with their lives and they got something to do. I understand they're on the run or whatever, but there's still going to be some emotions coming out. And that's another thing that this movie had a lot of. It did have a lot of emotion because, you have Angelina Jolie's character who's still suffering from the mental anguish of having to think that she's guilty for those people dying in that fire from the years ago. So she keeps flashbacking about it. And I'm sure that could be tough. The way it went down, it was like young boys. It was young boys that she could see burning from afar. And it hit her really hard. No one knows how it is to be a firefighter. Not a lot of people. You don't know what kind of pain, weight they're carrying. This movie expressed that very well. I'll give it that. Now let's get to the negatives, shall we? Because we got a long night. Not really, but First negative about this. The acting, besides the kid doing his best, and he actually did a great job of what he was assigned to do, everyone else, as far as acting, was highly disappointing. It was so disappointing. And I'm saying that because Angelina Jolie, one of the biggest vets in this movie, and you couldn't do better than that. She was just, it was like she was completely reading off of cue cards or something, or just like it was being, how do they say, phoned in? Or whatever they say. It'll be at the bottom of the screen. I'm saying it somehow. somehow right, whatever. It felt like they were feeding her lines. There you go. They were feeding her lines, and she just wasn't in it. And neither were any other actors. The guy that played Punisher, John Bernthal, again, disappointed. Disappointed. I don't care what the low budget is. Your acting's not low budget. That doesn't take money off of your acting. Why would you show such a low level of enthusiasm? I don't know. But yeah, the acting was just atrocious, man. Another negative about this. Yes, there's a lot of fire in this movie because it's based around firefighters, right? And that's a no-brainer. So why is it that you must use CGI fire for this movie? There was so much CGI fire. You could tell. Please, when you do stuff like this, at least make it believable. Okay, I could tell that fire was fake. That was horrible. I've seen a lot of movies where things blow up, things catch on fire, things implode, explode, whatever. Whatever deals with fire, they have it. But there was never a moment in most of these movies where I was like, damn, that looks like fake fire. That looks like fake fire. And this was one of those few moments in a long time where you have big actors in this movie, but yet the fire was so computer programmed, computer graphics. Okay. What? Why? Why? You can do better. You can do better than that. You can. Let's just get to the third negative, okay? Let's just get to that third negative. My last and third negative, maybe not last, who knows? There was a lot of randomness in this movie, a lot of nonsense in this movie, okay? Let's start with the firefighters that Angelina Jolie used to work with. You know, it was a comedic little gang of guys. You know, she's the only woman, so their jokes are, you know, they don't hold back with her when they joke around with her and blah blah. And they were trying to, you know, portray that from the beginning of the movie, let you know how they get down and, you know, how they joke around with each other, right? But my problem was, it felt like they were just either not trying hard enough or trying too hard to be funny or be offensive to the one woman coworker. And I'm not saying they were being too offensive. I'm saying like it was forced. All right. It wasn't like the humor on, say, Wrath of Man, which I enjoyed. You had the one coworker as a female on there, and that was well done. The way they got along with each other, per se. You know, that was a better example of how you should do it than how this was. All right, this was so cheesy and corny and cringe worthy on top of that. All right, no. Then there's another thing that was extremely random that had nothing to do with the plot. Didn't help the plot any way possible. There's a scene where Angelina Jolie's character gets struck by lightning. For why she got struck by lightning, I don't know. I don't know why they chose to show her get struck. Unless she was going to get some superpowers. What was the reason for that? Other than the kid to make a funny comment or whatever later on. It was not funny. It was not funny. It was stupid. It was stupid. It was that in no way did that help the movie. It wasted a lot of time. The scene was a little long for what it did. No. Once again, no. This didn't help. The firefighter jokes didn't help. Bad. let's just get this done with. It's getting an eh. It's getting an eh. All right. I don't think I need to say much more about this. Okay. I was coming into this trying to see what Angelina Jolie had for us, and she didn't deliver. Neither did a lot of other people on this movie. Do better, Angelina. Do better. Please press that like button, share, subscribe. Right.